Namaste, I'm Archana Pami. Welcome back to my channel. Continuing the animal asana series with another intense one. This is called the elephant trunk pose, also known as Eka Hastha Bhujasana. So, what it means by elephant trunk is that we are going to place one of the legs on top of our arm, which almost looks like as if that is the elephant trunk, and then this is an arm balance asana. So this is going to be intense. I personally can't do it completely, but I have been practicing it, so I can definitely share some tips on how you can attempt this asana. This being an arm balance and an asana where we're going to place the leg on top of the arm, we need to do a little bit of warm up. So normal warm up with respect to the wrist to strengthen the upper arm and a little bit of hip movement. So let's just get started. Just bring your palms in front of you. We're going to be doing fist open and close. As you inhale, open. As you exhale, close. So do that as intensely as possible. What I mean by intense is when you're closing the fist, you should find the tension rise up in the muscles here. So inhale, exhale. Do that about 10 times slowly. We're going to speed it up. Release. If you have done it right, you should feel a burn here, something called as an after workout burn kind of a feeling. Now simple wrist rotations. So place the palms in front, close the fist. I am doing internal first. You can always do clockwise and counterclockwise, and then I am reversing direction with outwards rotation. Alright, another thing that I liked, which I found from somebody who showed it online, is to wrap both the fingers, intertwine them, close the fist, and then give a good rotation. This opens up a little bit more in the wrist and gives it more area. So you can do clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Alright, the next thing that we need to do is loosen up the hip joints. Before that, a little bit of knee. So just stretch out your legs in front of you. We're going to start with the right knee. So intertwine your fingers and place them below, right below the knee. And lift the leg up as you inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knee. Doing this a couple of times. Okay, switching over to the other leg. If you heard some noise, that's just my patella movement. I do have a problem, so sometimes if it is not aligned with the the thigh bone properly, you get this noise. It's my problem to deal with, just don't worry if you hear that noise and panic. So now that we have stretched the knee, main thing is the hip. So what I want you to do is I want to sit. We're going to lift the right leg, place the right feet on the top of the left upper arm. You're almost going to like cradle your leg like a baby. And now shift your weight to the left hip so the right hip is loose, and then just swing it around just like you're cradling a baby in your arms, ensuring that only your right hip moves. Do this a couple of times. Keep breathing. And release. Repeating with the other leg. Bring the left feet on top of the right upper arm. Wrap the leg. Shift your weight to the right hip so your left hip is loose and rock it. and release the leg. So we try to open up the hips a little bit and warm up our wrist. So now let's try the asana. And again, I'm telling that I've never attempted this asana in its fullest form. I just know how to plan to get into it, and I know how I can get into the next steps. So to assist me, again, a fan of big props, so I'm using blocks, and maybe I'm going to try with the wheel to see if I'm able to offset my hips, place my leg on the wheel and then lift myself up. So let's try it out. So sit facing the long side of the mat, legs stretched out in front of you. Now the right leg is what is going to form the trunk, and the right leg is going to be placed on top of the right arm. So what we're going to do is place your left palm behind you. If you want, you can bend the left leg to assist you till that time. I'm going to bring my right arm under my knee and place it below here. Now you can see that my leg is still not reaching as high as you want. You want it very close to your shoulders, and that happens only if you have enough of mobility in your hip for it to open and for your thigh to be able to come very back as possible. So you can assist it by using your left palm, pushing the right palm behind, and then using that action to place it here. Now this itself looks like an elephant trunk pose. The actual one is when you use your arm strength to lift your entire body off the mat. Now the simplest form is this. Next one is you can probably try lifting your hips, and that is what elephant trunk pose is. So I'm going to next try with 2 blocks to get some height on my palms to be able to lift myself up. All trial. So again, like I said, use the left palm to push the feet, the right feet, as back as possible and lift the leg up, and then place the right palm below so that your leg is on top of the palm, on top of the upper arm. Now this is even more easier. As you can see that I was able to easily lift my hips off the mat. And that was one good way to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to try with the wheel. Let me see if I can. It's going to require a lot more balance. So again, first and foremost, start with placing the leg on top of your hand. So inhale up, push it as back as possible. I think I'm not going to try with the wheel. Now doing the other side. We did the right hand side. We have to do the left hand side. We never do only one side. I'm turning my side so you can see it. Again, like we did, we need to prep and open the thigh a little bit. So lift the left leg up. Use the right palm to push into the left leg behind, opening up the thigh. Then shift your weight to the right hip and place the leg on top of the upper arm. Now use support to lift up. I can't do this on this side, so I'm going to use blocks. And relax. Here is a quick recap of the elephant trunk pose modifications and its benefits. You can just lift the leg and place over the upper arm. Please do the required warm-up by warming up your arms, your wrists, and also the hips. Then you can attempt by just lifting only the hips. The final pose is where you lift all your hips as well as your leg, and your leg is parallel to the mat. In order to let you practice this, you may always use props. So you can place the palms on blocks, and over a period of time you can also place the leg on the block or a wheel to offset the height. In terms of benefits, this is a beautiful arm balance, so which means it is going to strengthen your arms and increase the flexibility in your shoulders, your hips, as well as your lower back. Because of the compression and the work that is done in the core and the abdominal area, and the lifting up, which involves a lot of activity in the thigh, it also tones the perineum muscles. Please avoid this if you have any surgeries or injuries with shoulders, hips or wrists. So that was the elephant trunk pose. Please do let me know your feedback and suggestions. Namaste.